Can you be present with strong emotions? Can you tune into the energy that's flowing within your body? Emotions, energy, and motion. Tune in without trying to change anything or fix anything. Noticing it. What happens when you don't try to manipulate the flow? When you let go of the story that was attached to it and you soften into presence. Take a deep breath. Tune into the beating of your heart and awaken to a fresh perspective. Welcome to See More with Morsi, your go-to podcast for shifting beyond the noise of the mind. And what's up? My name is Morsi, and I help entrepreneurs, leaders, and creatives just like you invite presence into your life. You know that funny quote or meme? It says, someone tells another, "You're very self-aware." And then that person says, "I know, that's the problem." I find that there is a truth in that, but it's also missing something. There is a level of self-awareness that's important for us in order to make judgments about our next step, actions, what to say next, what to do, when that's necessary, being here in the play of life. But there is another level of awareness, pure awareness. Pure as in no mind, no judgment, no trying to fix or change or manipulate. It's in that pure awareness where you're rooted in being. You're no longer plagued by judgment. You're no longer consumed by the stream of thinking, but you're allowing emotions to flow and thoughts to flow. It's in those moments where you remain still and you ask yourself, can I allow this emotion to be here without trying to fix it? What does this emotion really feel like in this moment? See, often we're not truly feeling that flow because there's a thought within the mind that's resisting it. Emotions without a story, without the stream of thinking adding more fuel to the fire, is actually just a flow of energy. Can you feel that in your body? Just feeling the energy. See, that's what sets us free. It's what sets us free from the past. It's what sets us free from thoughts of the future. Of course, they're necessary, right? It's how we engage, once again, in the play of life. But it's important for us to learn how to navigate that. There's this idea that emotions are bad or wrong, or you can't be emotional, that you need to ignore your emotions. That never helped me, ignoring my emotions. Ignoring means pretending they're not there when they are, in fact, there. But there's a story that emotions are bad. And so there's never an opportunity or a space to actually be with it, to practice in allowing it to be there, accepting that it is a part of the human experience. And no, it doesn't have to cloud your judgment. It can be a companion along with judgment and logic, not some enemy. There's nothing that is a part of you that's an enemy. Nothing a part of you that you need to go against. Can you allow emotions to be here? Can you give them space to flow? That's presence. Not allowing the mind's fear of emotion to get in the way. Think of it as being in an ocean. If you've ever been in an ocean before, right? There's a lot of waves. Lots of waves in the ocean. They come and they go. Just like emotions. They come, they go. If you try to ignore the wave while you're in the ocean, it's just going to keep bumping into you, knocking you off your feet. I live in Florida. I've been to the beach many times. You got to flow with that wave. It actually becomes a fun game. No matter how old you are, you go in the ocean, you see waves. You don't just stand there when the wave comes trying to fight the wave. You jump and you land on your feet. You flow with it. You flow with it. You acknowledge that the wave is there. You don't ignore the wave. You acknowledge that it's there by flowing with it, and you land right back on your feet. It's the same when it comes to being present with strong emotions. This podcast is called See More with Morrissey for a reason. To see more. You can't see more if you're constantly getting caught up in the mind story. Constantly finding that emotions are bad or they're wrong or there's a fear of seeming emotional in the moment. I find that emotions are quite simple so long as we pause and allow them to flow. My emotions have told me who to stay away from, when to speak up, when to share what's on my mind, when to express myself authentically. My emotions have brought me closer to the people who are meant to be in my life, allowed me to feel and be and rest. What happens when you just give your emotions space to flow? What's left? What's left after the emotion comes and goes? Do you notice that? Do you notice the emotions coming and going? The more aware we become of these patterns, the more we see that life is simple when we let it. I mean, hey, I'll be the first to tell you that sometimes life does not seem simple. It seems so complicated. But when we choose to remain still, When we ask ourselves, can I just feel this emotion in this moment without adding a story? When we ask ourselves, can I just give this emotion space? That's when you find that the moment is simplified. Awareness. That's pure awareness. Yes, you asked yourself the question. Yes, you used the mind. But right after that is pure awareness. You have just pointed yourself towards awareness. Listen, happiness is not accidental. It's a practice, right? Peace, it's not accidental. It's a practice. Peace is always here. It's always here. It's just a matter of recognizing it. Recognizing that peace is not accidental. It's a practice. Tuning into this flow of emotions is a practice. And that's why I have added a nice companion to this podcast, my newsletter, The Enlightened Entrepreneur. I encourage you to subscribe to this newsletter so you can continue welcoming this practice into your life. It's a practice until it's not. Life is truly a meditation. On my way here to this spot, I allowed myself to just be here, to hear my footsteps crunching the debris on the ground, looking up, the sun, the trees, allowing any emotions to flow. Yes, life is a meditation, but hey, sometimes that's not where we're at in the moment. Sometimes we do need practice. So I encourage you to subscribe to The Enlightened Entrepreneur, where you'll receive more pointers towards presence and awareness right inside of your inbox. So you can be courageous enough to feel. Some of us have trouble with feelings of happiness. Some of us have trouble with feelings of anger, expressing happiness or anger or sadness. They're all a part of the flow of life. They all rise and fall within awareness. See More with Morsi and The Enlightened Entrepreneur are your sanctuary to finding comfort in your being, to reminding yourself that you are far more than the mind, that you are the awareness that holds the rising and falling of thoughts, the rising and falling of awareness. You don't just have a life, but you are life. Each step you take, each thought that arises, each emotion that flows through you, it's all a part of the unfolding of life. And all you have to do really is observe. When in doubt, observe. When you don't know what to do or you find yourself uncertain, observe. Can you be present with strong emotions? What happens when you're present? Then you let them flow. No story. No attachment. No need to fix or change. Just flow.